Hey guys, is everybody doing? Anyone here? Show up. I hope now that it will actually be doing what it's. Get off!
Mr. Vega! No, you can get me like that. Mr. Vega!
Okay, you alright? You have children too.
Get him off of the property!
Can you get those, please?
What?
There's not a lot to say.
That is not a real toilet.
There's no toilet paper.
Come. Now you watch this. You tell me where the guns are.
Okay.
Kill her!
No! I'll tell you! I can get him here, I see.
Stop.
Looking for your guns.
Robin, get out.
Listen, Don.
Maybe we should cut one of them loose. Let him bring this man.
I promise.
Put it back exit by the board.
Hey guys, anyone joining in? Ask some questions. Want to test things out before I have, guests on, which we'll start doing next Sunday. I'll do a Q&A, and then I'll start lining up guests after that. Already got 4 good guests lined up. So, ask some questions. If you got some questions, start typing them now. Hey, Richard, how you doing? I kind of did this last minute, so we'll see if anyone else hops in. Anyone else hopping in? It looks like we got one more. Ask some questions, please, and then I'll show another 1-minute highlight in a second. to see if some more people join in. Obviously, this wasn't a very planned thing. I just wanted to test things out. I'm glad I did because I already had one little thing, but it looks like it's working okay. And I'll probably do a live Q&A next Sunday. So actually, guys, get all your questions together. I'd like to do an actual live Q&A probably next Sunday, 1 p.m. EST, unless things change. And then I've got at least 4 good guests already lined up for the following Sundays, probably 1 p.m. unless they can't do it, and then we'll work around their schedule, of course. So, Richard James, my first Q&A live question: what is my opinion of Kyokushin offshoots like Ashihara? So I'm not that particularly knowledgeable about Ashihara. Basically, Kyokushin kind of K1, and let's say one of the 5 families are awfully involved from what I know. So a lot of K1 guys came from that. I believe Andy Hug did. Rest in peace. Thank Condone. I hope you like it. Please review it when you're done with it on the site. So my opinion of Kyokushin offshoots. Kyokushin's legit. I mean, there's no face punching. I think it's a very good base to have. There's a lot that I've changed over the years as you're more experienced and your movement is more fluid. And there's things that I would do more directly. And I've gone and watched classes even in Tokyo. And I'm like, oh, I love this style, and I love kind of the Budo of it. But there's a lot of things I don't really agree with nowadays, but I still think it's a great base. So Kyokushin, Ashihara, Enshin, which is Sabaki Challenge, Enshin, and of course we got Daido Juko. So I think any of those styles are pretty much you're good to go. And particularly, there's some subsects that actually do have some tournaments with face punching. Face punching is kind of the ancient number one technique cavemen came up with. And if you look at MMA and if you look at kickboxing, that's still what gets the most finishes, like 88% in K1. So knowing how to punch people in the face is awfully important. But if you're doing full contact, you're getting a warrior spirit. You are taking full contact punches to the body, legs all the time. You're going to toughen up. And that's one reason Kyokushin would be a great style for teenagers. Okay, I think everyone should do judo and or wrestling if you could, but I think judo should be in the school system. I think Kyokushin's a great base. For high school, I wish that's what I would have been doing, perhaps instead of Taekwondo, though. Maybe I don't give Taekwondo enough credit. My distance control is probably from Taekwondo. I really like Enshin a lot. I used to talk with the instructor, email with him back in like 2000, the founder of Enshin Karate. I think it's still one of the best martial arts books ever. Ashihara, I'm not that familiar with. How different is it really than any other Kyokushin? I think that's more kind of like a business thing, and the K1 guys, and like I hinted at, other people kind of being involved. It doesn't mean it's not legit. Anything Kyokushin offshoot base is legit, and Daido Juko I can speak more on. Richard, if that's good, let me know. You can type in the comments if you have a follow-up question. Daido Juko, Azuma Sensei, rest in peace, was an offshoot. He won the All Japan, I think, in 79, something like that. And maybe early 80s, because then Daido Juko already started having tournaments in 86 that were MMA-like. So Kyokushin always had judo connections. Kyokushin, judo had some more boxing in. And then you got it from there. So anything Kyokushin-based, Wolfman's down with. Is there a lot of movement and stuff and things I do differently nowadays and would teach differently? Yeah, absolutely. Watch my MMA versus systema sparring or karate versus UFC video. You'll see me kind of what would be my style of teaching karate or my style karate go jiu-jitsu, and look at my karate go jiu-jitsu rules and sparring, and it might kind of help guide you there. So Richard, if you got a follow-up, let me know. All right, Condone, thanks for buying the DVD. And anyone that hasn't gotten it yet, 4.5 hours, Combatives of Street Jiu-Jitsu DVD, available on BJJ Fanatics. Let's go. Boom! Right now, this weekend, 37% off. Guys, sometimes it'll occasionally go 30%, but 37% off of the 77 for 4.5 hours for my 34 years, 35 years of knowledge when I made it, and bouncing and real world, and I share real world stories I think you guys will get something out of it. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or completely advanced, whether you're a cop or a nurse, it doesn't matter. You're going to get something of it to deal with things real world on different levels of violence, different situations that come up real world. So, guys, please go get my DVD now. There's no time like now, being 37% off. So, thank you, Candon Susuedo, for that. All right, Andrew, it's going good. Let's get on to Larry Sexton's question. And, guys, I pronounce names badly, so it is what it is. What is my opinion on Kenpo karate or American Kempo? I mean, are we talking current safe space guys that think they're a sensei that aren't even that knowledgeable in the one range of fighting and not knowledgeable at all in any other range of fighting? I don't know. Do I like Snap? We got the power. Absolutely. If we're talking, Ed Parker. I mean, didn't he kill a man in a street fight and go to prison for that? I mean, the techniques must have worked. I don't know if he chopped the guy's throat or what. If you guys are knowledgeable about that, let me know. I mean, it's each and all of us, baby, with those big bell-bottom pants. Jeff Speakman. I like Jeff Speakman. I like his movies. He almost made Speed. So look at Scott Atkins' interview with Jeff Speakman if you want more on Jeff Speakman and Kenpo. I don't like all the stuff he says about Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of McDojo Kempo, MN. I've seen a lot of McDojo-ish crap, and even in their black belt sparring classes. It's a lot of posing, okay? It's a lot of scarecrowing like you do in Kali just to learn your 5 angles or 7 angles or 8 angles, depending on the system. A whole lot of like punching and hanging out there as I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got the power back sidekick. Boom! Just Speakman the guy. So could real guys, perhaps highly skilled guys, fight with that? Yes. Is there a lot of McDojo BS? Yes. And maybe that depends how close to the Hawaiian roots the M were versus the Okinawan roots, claiming that's Chinese roots. Who knows, man? It's one big world. The Hawaiian guys used to scrap back in the day. So, I mean, if we're talking Chuck Liddell's trainer, the pit, John Hackelman, he taught Chuck Liddell. I mean, that's pretty good. Taught some other guys. Is it not McGee? Court McGee? Is it Court McGee with the big? Is it Court McGee with the big beard? And other guys like that. So he definitely taught them how to hit with power. I've watched some of his videos, and even some of the women hitting the heavy bag, the tie bags, like 100-pound banana bags, they had some real power. So at least as far as power development, maybe the Kenpo guys got it going on. Larry, if there's something more, that's about my knowledge base. But a lot of McDojo BS as well. Richard, hopefully that answered on Kyokushin and offshoots. It depends where you are. I don't know where you're located, if you can find good Kyokushin offshoot, Ashihara, or whatever. Andrew, going pretty good. I just did this last minute because I thought I was interviewing tomorrow at 1, so I couldn't do it then, which is kind of the planned time for these live stream guys. I'm going to start doing live streams probably 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. I think that's a good time. If that's not good for you, let me know. I think that's kind of a good time to get a lot of people as guests. We'll see how it goes. I could change it with guests. Already got like 4 really good guests lined up, but I want to do this and probably another Q&A next Sunday. So tell people, get more questions in. I didn't do it tomorrow only because I was originally going to interview with Practical Combat Sergio Perez tomorrow, which now it looks like we're doing it tomorrow night because of his schedule. So anyway, I did this last minute because there's no UFC on today and I didn't have anything else going on. All right, Richard saying Hawaiian Kempo is cool, Chuck Liddell style. Yeah, if they were Hawaiian scrappers, Kaju Kembo, or Kenpo, if they're old school guys, or Mark Dacascos dad, El Dacascos maybe, Wan Kyun Hapkido, Wan Yun, whatever it was. If it's coming from Hawaiian scrappers back in the day, even if you look at the Judo and the Aki Jiu-Jitsu and the Daitoru Aki Jiu-Jitsu offshoot, I got some videos in my old playlist from 1944, I think. So 40s, 50s, like Some really good techniques in there. Not the most alive training or attacker, but some really cool techniques. So look in my old school videos playlist, guys. Look at all my playlists. I've covered stuff. I'll give you a lot for free, man. Okay, I'm gonna get some water and I'll get to Lawrence's question. What's the best way? Oh, maybe I should be doing this. Boom! Look at this. This is why we do this before I get guests on. Lawrence Whiteley says, what's the best way to make the transition to karate, to MMA with a hole in grappling? I don't know what that. I'm old. I don't know what that means. Is that a shit pie? Is that a black hole? I don't know what that means. Transition. I assume it's transition from karate to MMA with a hole in grappling. One, you're not going to do good in MMA unless you were high level in karate, transitioning that over. At least not for the first 3 years until you change your style to more Muay Thai, more Dutch kickboxing. Now, if you're high level in karate, you know, like MVP, Machidas, the tall kickboxing guy in Glory. You know, if you're high level, that means distance control. And if you look at my sparring, distance control is what I'm exceptionally good at. Guys, look at my videos coming out in my MMA neo striking system. Watch my narrated sparring videos. That is a lot of that is karate, especially when I'm southpaw. A lot of that is Maya distance control, like the Tomiki Aikido guys talk about. So you could transition from karate to MMA if you fill in the holes with wrestling, takedown defense, get ups from bottom, not just sport jiu-jitsu, everyone sits on their butts, but getting up from bottom, and all of that. You got to fill in those gaps. And you got to fill in your gaps in your striking. You got to learn how to low kick better if you're not a Kyokushin offshoot guy, more like a Shotokan guy or something like that. You gotta learn how to throw hands and Dutch kickboxing style, put the kick behind it, and then you can use your karate setups. And a lot of that is, and even my second round, I don't know if I ever get to. I look back my old 2012 videos, my neo striking playlist. I show how to leap in 1-2 right high kick, the kick following the punch, not the alternating side. How to go kick, punch, punch, kick. Look at my narrated sparring videos. I taught all that back in like 2012. If you look at my old videos, my old playlist, and that will give the karate practitioner trying to get into MMA a lot. Let me scroll up, guys. I'm missing questions. More people are joining in. It looks like if I lose some of you guys, sorry. Let's see. Andrew, what MMA style should I start with? I don't know what you mean by MMA style. What is MMA is its own sport. I don't know what that question means. If you mean a pressure tested style, such as any kind of real kickboxing, Muay Thai, Dutch kickboxing, judo, wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, catch wrestling, are those MMA styles? You should go to an MMA school that has instructors that fought pro 3-4 times and have a brown belt in jiu-jitsu at least. That's what you should do, Andrew. It depends where you're located. I don't know what other than an MMA style. I mean, most people train in kind of those 4 or 5. So do some kickboxing, do some jiu-jitsu. You have catch wrestling and you have Dutch kickboxing, even better. So yeah, you need to follow up on that question if I don't cover it. Okay, yeah, gap, weakness, karate, MMA. Yeah, you got to fill in the grappling, obviously. You're not an MMA fighter unless you fought MMA. And you're not doing amateur MMA under me unless you're already a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. And you're not doing pro MMA under me unless you're already a purple belt in jiu-jitsu and you already have really good wrestling and takedowns and takedown defense. So obviously, guys, it's not 1993 anymore. It's about being well-rounded. Karate has grappling and tegumi. Yeah, you can talk about Bunkai all you want, and there might have been teaching stuff, but until you were doing live judo back in the day, I don't care if you were sitting on an island in Okinawa, your grappling was shit. Okay? And the karate instructor is teaching you, it's all bunkai hidden in the grappling shit. If you don't think I want to take them down and submit them and smash their face in, you're daydreaming. Now, a lot of karate had some judo. Kyokushin has some judo, and some judo is better than no judo. Judo, no. Judo, man, you don't know nothing. But I don't like anyone lying on themselves, fooling themselves. Guys, karate guys, like that. That's like Wing Chun and Aikido guys. I'm thinking that there's little subsect to one range of fighting covers everything. Okay. Lyle Miller, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Hey Dan, I saw a video of yours where you drop a guy with what you called spinal vibrations, but you didn't really elaborate. Do you have a link or a video of that, or can you explain? It's hard to explain, and if you're a beginner, you're not going to get it, and it doesn't matter for me to explain it because you're a beginner. So if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter what I say, you're not going to be able to do it. I can do it because I'm not a beginner. It takes sensitivity. If you don't have sensitivity, you don't have anything. If you don't have sensitivity in any martial arts, and that could include wrestling, you don't have anything. So, the spine is made of curves. If you want to learn more about it, you need to become a Patreon supporter. Cut Jiu-Jitsu. I believe it's hidden now. I believe that's one of the MMA and catch wrestling seminars. And the second one, the second section, I went into breaking structure. It's 55 minutes on breaking structure and understand structure. Structure being the spine and the base, how to take people down. I get into the spinal vibrations there. I assume you mean my Jack in the Box takedown where I wiggle on someone's head. You see me in sparring, do it. Big guys, small guys, some smaller pro UFC fighters. We clash in the clinch, and boom, I take them down. They just fall the butterfly guard. Most people would just assume the guy did that. No, I made him do that. So basically, most people's reaction times is 1.5 seconds. You have to think, send it to your nervous system, send it down your spine to do anything. And I can do things to people in a way that shocks them, where they don't know where to go, they don't know where the balance is, and they don't know which signal to even give and which direction. It's hard to explain. Go train 30 years, and maybe it will make some sense. Become a Patreon supporter. I spend 55 minutes explaining it. I do have one video in the arm triangle where I show that takedown at the end. I think I have different combatives, fight like Batman highlights, whatever. That's in there, and I'm doing it to all kinds of different guys and bigger guys. And you can see me live doing it. This is a pro MMA fighters, a UFC fighter, fights in Ryzen now, and things like that. Okay, Lyle, you're not a beginner. Okay, so yes, you should already get what I mean then. If they can't react quickly enough to send the signals to their nervous system, they can't react. If the fascia and the muscles don't get the right signal and they don't know what direction to contract in, they're jelly. People are just, we're just meat zombies. So learn how to play with the meat zombies like a puppeteer. All right, Lyle, if you can, yeah, become a Patreon supporter, guys. There's 5 levels. Looks like there's 3, but go down. There's 5 levels, and the top 3 levels get access to 2, at this point, exclusive MMA and catch wrestling seminars. Lyle and others, there's a whole section that gets into that, and I really explain things. And I got an upcoming seminar in Killeen, Texas, July 10th and 11th. On the 10th, on the Combatives, I might get into that a little bit there as well. So, guys, give me a second. I need to scroll back up and see what I missed. Wolfman, how do you feel about misconceptions and hype of certain... Does it go into longer? Rudy, you didn't finish the question. Type of certificates, certain styles? Rudy, you got to finish typing, my man. I'll answer it. Here we go. Well, guys, 37% off. Go there now. Okay, Rudy, let's think it's feel, because he might not be a primary English speaker. When they started this, let's see. How do you feel about misconceptions and hype of certain styles? I'm gonna guess. I think like CO. Can anyone think who I'm talking about? CO talking about media people and non-experts and Hollywood stars giving their opinions about stuff that they're not experts on. We have a problem with that on YouTube. Maybe she saw my videos. If you're not an expert, your opinion doesn't matter. If you're not even mid-level, your opinion doesn't matter. So people that are beginners or never done anything on the couch that just watch YouTube videos, which are mostly teens, which is certain channels that only do talk to teens to make money. Misconceptions, they portray misconceptions in very low level stuff. If you've watched me in interviews lately and some of my channel lately, you'll understand me ripping into people that have no business talking about anything. They have no business. Their opinions don't matter, and they spread misconceptions about styles and say something like, this sucks, that sucks. Well, Wing Chun mostly sucks. I have a video. Aikido mostly sucks. I have a video, except for the pre-fight phase. Wing Chun, except for the chain punch, straight blast, except for the sensitivity you gain from your chi sen, which helps me better not get locked in jujitsu. So there's a couple easy examples. Or Sistema. I'm going to have George on in a couple weeks, guys. So if I'm carrying my baby or groceries in one hand, I might have to react when I'm walking in between the cars, and boom, there's a guy. I don't have time to get into my MMA Muay Thai stance. Like, you should already have MMA Muay Thai kickboxing jiu-jitsu background. If you don't, you suck. You shouldn't be talking because you suck. That's just the basic level. Okay? That's just the basic level. Follow that up, Rudy, if you got more, because I was just taking a guess at what you meant, and I didn't see you down below. Okay. Lawrence, thank you. So yeah, hopefully I answered. Let's see. Mike Bevins. Hi Dan. I just started, happened upon my channel today, approached TMA concepts to MMA, coming from someone from a small circle jiu-jitsu and wrestling background. Thank you, Mike. I don't know that much about small circle jiu-jitsu. Dan Severin back in the day, training with him in 97, 98, 99. He had videos from Wally J, and I think I watched a couple. And that's kind of like some of the stuff the Taiho Jitsu, police to wrestling, jiu-jitsu people do. Yeah, that's okay if you already know how to fight alive in grappling, in striking, generically kickboxing, judo, jiu-jitsu. If you already have that, can you make this other stuff work or the Aikido work? Yeah, duh. And if you don't know how to fight, you don't know how to fight. Duh. And that's why these Aikido idiots, beginners, I'm tired of, I'm sick of. And if you suck, you suck. And if you suck at everything, saying other stuff sucks just means that you're a fucking young idiot. Excuse my language. So, Bevins, hopefully you do like that and you can transition and see how to make some of that work. But can these guys do 25 things as you scarecrow and stand there? No, people tend to fight, like felons that have been aggressive and know how to punch. That's who you got to be prepared for. So if you can't do that, and thank you everyone for joining in. I'm glad we're starting to get people. But you wrestled, you have a wrestling background, so maybe you were like me and you could make some of the finger locks and wrist locks and standing arm locks and stuff work. And if you can't, because you have that wrestling background, depending on how long ago it was, you can remember your nervous system, what it was like wrestling live people and live randori, live grappling. Maybe you can make some of that work, and maybe my channel will help you out. So thanks for joining in, Mike. Andrew, you're welcome. Privet Yuri, welcome. For the longest time, karate and judo used to be trained in the same dojos. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kyokushin still does to an extent. At least a real Kyokushin school does. The black belt's got to know some judo, and usually at the end of some classes, at least, you're doing some judo line training type stuff. Yuri, gonna assume I don't know if you grew up in New York, maybe, or you grew either way, or in or Russia, or some former USSR Republic or Ukraine maybe. But I'm sure that they kept things a little more old school and a little more real than Mr. Miyagi-Do BS karate here in the U.S. It wasn't McDojo. And real karate is awesome, guys. Real judo is awesome, guys. And McDojo judo and McDojo karate isn't. I mean, judo hasn't failed to the same extent, but even going to the Olympics, and stuff has made, you know, it got back to more groundwork lately in the last Olympics, and hopefully that trend continues. But them outlawing this and that and everything, and they weren't doing a lot of groundwork for a while. It really sucks, guys. Happy Memorial Day weekend, 37% off, BJJ Fanatics or EffectiveSelfDefense.com. You go there now. I told you, Master Wong told me he come after your ass. He give you big, big trouble if you don't get Wolfman's DVD. No, that's not racist. That's Master Wong being over the top. Okay? And I like him. It's funny. All right. Yuri, if you got something else to add because you're more experienced, let me know, Yuri. Do you got black belts in karate and judo? Do you have any kind of sambo background? And where are you located, Yuri? I'd be interested in hearing more from you. Yeah. Leo, so check out the Jack in the Box. Guys, pretty interesting. I showed that at a law enforcement seminar. Dennis Hallman had me teach at a law enforcement seminar to just show them and blow their minds at the end of the seminar. So I had this really big cop. There's a video of me taking them down with it twice. Like, it works. In Malaysia, I was on a talk show. I wish I had footage. In Malaysia, on the Jack in the Box, I was on a talk show, and one of the other guests was a doctor. And so I said, I'll do it really lightly to you. And I showed him, and I blew his mind doing the little Jack in the Box wiggle. Max is telling me he doesn't suck. I don't know why you're telling me that, Max. But if you say that, you probably suck. No offense. You shouldn't even have to say that. I wasn't talking to you. And I like your comments on my page. But come on, man. Just giving you a hard time. Logan Paul Jerkoff versus Floyd Mayweather. I don't know. Logan's a big guy. I thought they were the same dude using different names. Apparently they're brothers. I don't know. I don't care about sucky ass mofos like him. I'll beat him up bare knuckle. I'll beat Logan Paul up in MMA. I'll beat him up in every way he wants. Let's go bare knuckle, dude. Let's go bare knuckle Valley Tudo. We can do bare knuckle boxing one round, and then let's go bare knuckle Valley Tudo and let me headbutt you. At least there's 2 states. I can probably get that cleared in. Mr. Logan Paul Jerkoff and his brother Jerkoff. So screw that guy. He's an idiot. He's a friggin' idiot with idiot teenage followers. Who knows, though? He can hit. He's an athlete. I mean, I'm getting him confused. Has the other one been doing the boxing matches, or is it Logan Paul? I don't know. But look, he wrestled, and he's like 205 pounds, guys. And he cuts to 185 to box, I think. And Floyd is like all of 149 when he's in shape, 147. So what weight are they going to do this at? Logan's been taking his vitamins for a long time, I think. Vitamin S. So I don't know. All I know is I'd beat the brakes off of him, I think. He's athletic and young. I'm older now. Before 40, I'd beat the brakes off of him. Would I beat the brakes off of him now? I don't know. With that wrestling background, I think I'll submit him if we go an MMA round. But I'm willing to book it. He wants to do boxing around, a bare knuckle boxing around, and then MMA the next round, or 2 rounds boxing, MMA the next round. I'll do it. I don't know. Can he touch Floyd? Probably not. Floyd's fights are usually pretty boring. He's super skilled. Philly shell, shoulder rolls. 52 blocks messed him up. In the 5th or the 6th, didn't mess him up. Look at my 52 series. So, Shane, if you got a follow-up, guys, I don't mind follow-ups. Mike, yes, my instructor was Ernie Boggs, who studied under Professor Wally J. I was fortunate to meet Wally J back in 95 when I was a teen. Now, I don't know Wally J's all his background. He developed small circle jiu-jitsu after already training extensively in 2 styles and already having black belts, did he not? Mike, go ahead, answer that question. We'll make you part of this. Richard, more wrestling in the UK. We have catch and local styles, but it can be hard to find. Richard, that was true for a long time, but if you see UK fighters in the last like 2.5 years from like the bigger MMA gyms, it depends where you're located. But if you go to any of the bigger MMA gyms, they're wrestling at least basic takedowns and takedown defense has come a long way. So maybe you can find something. It probably depends where you're located. But any of the better MMA gyms now, like the fighters, their wrestling has come a long way. I mean, not totally in the offensive wrestling, but at least on against lower level guys. Like they can't chain wrestle that well yet, but their takedown defense has gotten a lot better. No McDojo karate. Well, that's good. So you got real karate. You probably got really good judo still in the UK. I mean, and even in the UK, the guys doing judo back then were bouncers, and they were keeping judo, keeping it real. You got 3 years of Aikido in one of the worst places for street violence in the Ukraine. Well, Yuri, you need to get some of that karate and judo then if you're living in one of the most violent places in the Ukraine. I defend aspects of Aikido. I am not the great defender of all things Aikido. I am not running an Aikido school. If Steven Seagal wants to give me a Tenshin Aikido black belt after teaching me for a while and feeling what I can do, I welcome Steven Seagal to give me a Tenshin Aikido black belt. But you might want to get on some of those judo, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, karate skills if you might have to defend yourself for real against 3 thugs or a guy with a knife. What are 3 pieces of advice I would give to my beginner self? I wouldn't have given up on wrestling because I tore my hamstring in 8th grade and bench pressed a guy over and pinned myself and realized like even if you're on the bottom, that doesn't mean you'd get your fight, lose a fight. That was my thought process in 8th grade. This is before UFC. I did wrestling for fighting purposes. I won all my fights as a kid. I didn't start them. They picked on me over and over again. Or, if they were bullying other people, I would step in, especially if they said something about my mom, even if it turns out what they said was true. But hey, anyway, yeah, she was a hoe. Anyway, I would have kept with wrestling and not just done Taekwondo in high school. I would have kept with wrestling. I would have been a way better fighter now than 10 years ago, whatever. I would have been way better off had I continued in wrestling. Had I had choices, I would have been doing judo and real karate. Had there been real karate around, which in America, most places there isn't, I would have preferred a real Shotokan. Now, up and down, boppy, hoppy, Olympic BS, whatever you call that style. I've been to schools. They all suck. One wanted me to take over when one of them got arrested for doing diddling girls in South Carolina. They wanted me to take over. I'm like, I might because I can coach, but it's not really my expertise to teach, to try and take people like best of the best to the Olympics. But I would have done real karate, real judo, real karate if I could find it, probably instead of Taekwondo. But Taekwondo is okay; it gives you body awareness and a good base and kicking, and based looking like a wrestler. People to this day still surprised when I kick them in the head, which is a good advantage. I wouldn't have sparred as hard. I discussed that with Viking Samurai. Guys has done 2 videos with me already, and I'm a lot more fun when I got a fun guy like that can really interview. So look at the Viking Samurai, what it was like sparring UFC and light heavyweight champions. Just talking to a UFC guy who fought in a couple UFCs just before going live. Same thing. We sparred way too hard at Miltich's. Too much brain damage. So, and I should, quite frankly, and it might have caused my lupus and autoimmune. If you look at the boxer study, I should not have been sparring Tim Sylvia and Bren Rothwell when I weighed 202 pounds. That was kind of grossly negligent, quite honestly. I can't think of anything else, AJ. I'll try and think of a third if I get to it. If I wanted to be a fighter, I would have fought more, but I was getting sick all the time. I was training for a couple fights, and I could train really hard and get great shape, and then my body would crash. And that probably was my lupus already kicking in. And one fight they said I had mono, and I shouldn't fight because my liver enzymes were wrong. So that was probably my lupus kicking in already. But could I have gone places and done things had I taken some fights, done more fights? If you're going to do it, I probably should have done it more, but I had particularly hard circumstances. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys, for all the questions. Shane Carey, what do I think of Shaolin Kempo karate style? How is Kenpo and Shaolin related? Because you spell Kenpo with an M and not an N, and then it's Okinawa, and you claim it was from Shaolin Kung Fu guys. I don't even buy into all that. I'm not the great historian of Shaolin Kempo karate. Sorry. I don't think that much of Shaolin or Shaolin monks or Shaolin people teaching Shaolin things. They're good gymnasts, and they can get money from tourists. Yeah. Other than Jackie Chan's autobiography, which I read, and Sammo Young, yeah, they trained really, really hard at acrobats and doing acrobatic stuff. Does acrobatic stuff make you a fighter? I don't think so. I covered Kenpo earlier, Shane. Hopefully, you can replay this back on YouTube later. I covered thoughts of Kenpo and Kenpo karate, and a lot of it is total McDojo BS. Though Ed Parker killed a man in a street fight, and Jeff Speakman was the bomb. We got the power, and even Street Night. There we go. And too bad he got screwed over with the whole situation. Listen to Scott Atkins interviewing him if you want to know how he could have made Speed, and that was supposed to be his platform. And maybe we'd all be Jeff Speakman. Jeff Speakman would be doing John Wick movies right now. Who knows? Yuri says constant sparring with people from all styles imaginable. Yes. I mean, if you're talking about me or what I would recommend, yes. I've always sparred people from all styles. I've dabbled in all styles I could get my hands on. And yeah, that makes me able to do things that other people can't do, probably. Like even my Wing Chun and Aikido is pretty darn functional. I'm not a Wing Chun or Aikido instructor. And I was already reading Jeet Kune Do, Tao Jeet Kune Do when I was 16, 17, already starting to spar at kickboxing schools. And this big Choi Meng Do or something guy ran a school, a friend of mine from high school that I was in the role playing club with. But Marco was like 6'4" or something. So I would go and spar people. And then once I got to university, I did all the 1-credit classes and I did everything I could get my hands on. And I TA Taekwondo and I did Judo classes, not just 1-credit class, but the club. And I ran my own 2 clubs, early MMA, and HB club. And I ran a self-defense club. And I would go train with that Israeli, supposedly Mossad guy over there. And I would do this and do that and go to the boxing gyms and go to the judo clubs. And I would do everything I could get my hands on. Everyone should do that, Yuri. Why Roy? Roy, why Big Country Nelson says he's a dude. He's a big fan. Thank you, Roy. I'm a big fan too. It's probably not really Big Country. Big Country had real Wing Chun when we did Playful Chi Sao, though, guys. He was like legit. It's kind of interesting. What would you advise me to train with 3 more partners and constantly evolve to BJJ MMA? I need background. Luin Nogueira, are you in Florida? Are you in Brazil? Obrigado, my friend. So it depends. I don't know if you're a BJJ MMA guy or a teenager just getting together with 3 buddies. I would recommend getting my shameless plug, my 4.5-hour Combatives of Street Jiu-Jitsu digital DVD available on BJJ Fanatics. Guys, BJJ Fanatics, the best site. Once you buy it, you put in your code, you can watch it anytime you want from tablets, whatever. You own that thing for here until eternity. You can also download it at any time. There's 4 sections, about 0.5 gig each, so only 2 gigabyte total there. I would recommend doing that. And back to Nogueira. Well, there's a lot on YouTube nowadays, including me. So it's particularly grappling and MMA guys. I have a playlist with 45 hour compilations on each position in grappling. People just started to do that in the last few years. Everybody else was lazy Brazilians that watched it on their phone. Excuse me, Nagara, if you're Brazilian. But honestly, they would watch a YouTube video and go teach 3 not connected techniques in their classes. And then they do that. And that's a horrible way to coach. And jiu-jitsu is still taught in a very, very bad way. And you can listen to John Danaher, a more respected guy, talk about that recently, and something I've been saying for years. I would teach 2-week segments when I teach. I would teach a big overview in the first and bore everybody, but film a video and teach them all the possibilities, and then we would break things down in each night and go over the same thing. We're working on lockdown half guard. We're working on top half guard. We're working on side mount. We're working on side turn. We're working on front headlock. I would do things that way. But anyway, look at my playlist, guys. I have so many playlists. Guys, I've done a lot of things. I'm not the best at any one thing, but I can make a lot work, and it's all more focused for street self-defense, MMA, no-gi, whatever. Look at my playlist, look at my positional playlist, Nagara, and drill the heck out of that stuff. I don't know if you have real coaches, but if you can get a real coach, get a real coach. If you don't have money, guys, boxing gym and judo gyms around the world are usually pretty cheap. So that's another advice, especially for you youngins. Go get in a boxing or judo club. Please tell us how you use Aikido in pre-fight. Also, any tips for someone starting to box? Whew. Well, you guys hopped in today. I thought I was going to be alone and cut this out. It's tiring. Aikido pre-fight. How do you use it? You put up a fence. Say, well, bro, I don't want any trouble. Hey, man, I'll buy you a beer, whatever. You use de-escalation tactics. You use not being young and dumb and wanting to fight. And you de-escalate and you get out of there. And if the guy puts his finger in your face, you Ubidori him, you Kotogashi him, you do whatever. That's how you use it pre-fight. Starting in a box, learn a box. Is it boxing for boxing? Guys, there's boxing for MMA and street self-defense. Watch my videos. And then there's boxing for boxing, where you're more sideways with a toe-in stance, where you're more easy to get leg kicked, you're more easy to get taken down. Boxing for boxing and boxing for MMA and street fighting are different. Look at my 52 series. A lot about how to box and boxing combinations, counters. I have videos teaching your main boxing combinations. I would recommend you watch that, because even the boxing coaches don't have a good video where you can see a bunch of different combinations, quite frankly. So I'm more square when I box, i.e. punch and combinations, than because of MMA and street, and I want to be able to sprawl and do takedown defense and kick and with power and have my front hand be more powerful than just jabbing sideways. So watch my 52 series and look at my try to find my Dan the Wolfman Kenjutsu boxing combinations video, and you can just train those combinations over and over and over again. Watch your punches and learn how to have big vision. A lot of fighters, even in UFC level, have crappy vision. Open your eyes and see angles, and you can even do slow-mo with your friends. I have slow-mo boxing drills. Even the Russian boxers, still some of the old school ones, train with slow-mo because it teaches angle recognition, line familiarization, your brain mapping stuff. Well, Max, you can think what you want about Logan Paul, and I can think what I want. Everyone in sports and media and everyone's on steroids. Everyone in the movie business is on steroids and HGH. Everyone is on steroids. Badminton players are on steroids. Curlers are on steroids. Everyone is on steroids. So, Max, I don't know why you're 52 and you're being naive. Whether or not he is, I don't want his lawyers after me. So it's conjecture and talking crap, because I would beat the hell out of him in a fight and get rich. I don't like being poor anymore. I've been poor my whole life. I don't know what Mike's saying about Daito-Ryu and Shotokan Karate. Probably like they were real and more hardcore back in the day, just like everything else. Have done any Iwama Aikido, and also have I been to the UK. I haven't done that much Aikido. I'm just better at Aikido than all of them. Boom. I'm better than third Dan black belts that did it for 15 years. Boom, son. Iwama is Northern Aikido Saito style, I think. And like they were with Ueshiba back in the days before he pussified everything. So yeah, good. Have I been to the UK? No, rainy, cold. You pay me, I come. Otherwise, boom. Thanks, Alexander. Gentlemen. Wyra, what's the easiest takedown in self-defense would be a old school Hoist Gracie UFC 1, diving in so you don't get uppercutted or, timing. You squash it, you stand on the outside like a magnet, boom. You get in, you dive your head, you get a tight waist, you pull, you push with your head and your chest, and you take them out with the outside leg hook takedown or Kosotogaki. It's one of the takedowns, and my Learn 6 Essential Takedowns is like 160,000 views on YouTube. Watch my 6 takedowns and throws drill video. It's very popular. You should be able to find it. 6 takedowns and throws drill. It's in there. I also have a separate video teaching Sanda fighters that were getting into MMA in Egypt. I have a video teaching them, a separate video. If you look at my hour-long video on takedowns, that's the separate video on it. It's also at the end of that. It's not the best footage, but I'm teaching that. What is my favorite Steven Seagal movie? Alexander, my favorite Seagal movies are both Above the Law and Out for Justice. Out for Justice is probably a better film because, it could be a script. I deeply want to do homage films and remake homage films to Above the Law and Out for Justice. Hopefully, you've seen my Above the Law remake film, guys. If you haven't seen my Seagal videos I've been making lately, they're pretty fun. I do a Above the Law remake where I do same or similar techniques against multiple guys or whatever. And it's kind of showing that I could do a movie like Above the Law, and hopefully a friend is going to talk to some former friends of ours from back east, back in the day, and they're producers now. And hopefully I get to make a new Above the Law. Hold on, let me see how many questions we got. Whoa, my goodness. Holy crap, guys. All right, that's awesome, everybody. Guys, please get my DVD. It will make you better. Trust me. There's a lot of everything's not an engaged fight. Hopefully you know how to spar and grapple, but everything's not an engaged fight. You have to deal with things with different levels of violence in different situations, and just hearing my stories is worth the money now at 37% off. If I had to pick one style, what would I choose? Whatever the best style taught by the best instructor near me is. I don't care if you like jiu-jitsu, if the guy teaching it's a blue belt, and you have the best, most functional kung fu guy near you, go do that. Honestly, though, if I got a pro one of the best karate guys in the world, I'm going to go to that. If I happen to have within 45 minutes of me one of the best wrestlers in the world, I'm going to go train with him. If within an hour, I used to go 2 hours each way just to train with Dan Severn. I moved from one side of the state, switched colleges just to train with the blue belt and BJJ back in the day. You go train with the best person you have, not the best style, the best instructor. I think Dutch kickboxing is probably a great base if you have that, but for those down in Holland, it's pretty hard to find. Max, thank you. Hopefully you enjoy the neo striking, the cluster fighting system. Guys, it will change everything. It should change everything. But everyone likes their dog months. Maybe 8 years from now, we'll see a change. Just like in 2012, I was teaching calf kick and calf kick defense, and it's just finally starting to happen. Padmamitra Yadavali. Are you in the US or are you in India? I don't have that many followers in India, so that would be cool. Kind of a huge country. Do I think striking with the fingers is a viable option? Not really, not for most people. Other than an eye jab, and my Tiger Claws I teach, and my Combative Street Jiu-Jitsu DVD. Other than I jab, kind of more like this, if you practice it all the time, Bruce Lee JKD style, or you can just flick, or you can just kind of jab in like I tend to, or Tiger Claws. Other than to go to the eyes and at close CQB range going in on the throat notch, in and down. So the throat notch, in and down. You see me do that takedown on my my DVD as well. Other than that, do I think you're going to pierce into someone, rip out their beating heart? No. I mean, maybe I have a follower now, guys. I forget his name. I'm so sorry. He's a cop and he does all the body hardening stuff and hitting bricks and all that. Like maybe he can and George can, but those are extreme outliers in humanity. I've broken my fingers, are all twisted every which way just from grappling and MMA. I mean, they're literally like torqued one side and all curled. This one, like you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like not, it's like sideways. And I don't think most people can. The fingers are really small bones. Familiar with Alan Orr? Richard, I've wrote to him a couple times on Facebook. I sent him something. You said interesting. I've watched a couple of his videos. They're kind of slow. He probably has some real stuff and real sensitivity and understands grounding and rooting. I'd be happy to cheese out him and kind of like see if he can kung fu wrestle me. Can he kung fu wrestle against me and avoid my takedowns? And can I standing lock him or can he standing lock me? I don't know. So, guys, do you want me to answer this question? I don't know if I should answer this or not on YouTube. So let me know if you guys want me to answer that. Maybe I'll come back to that, Andrew. Max, twice every day. When you're young, you can do twice every day. When you're older, no. No, I mean, if training once is like yoga or a walk, yeah, maybe. Twice every day, no, I don't think so. In fact, I think it's just better to train 3 hours really hard, 4 to 5 days a week, and then 1 day supplemental with your yoga or your cardio. I like 3 hours hard. Did I used to do twice a days? Yeah, I used to train jiu-jitsu 2 hours, drive 2 hours, train with Dan Severn for 2.5 hours, combat wrestling twice a week. And then other nights I would go do JKD schools and do JKD, Muay Thai, grappling, jiu-jitsu, Judo, whatever for 3 hours straight. I like 3 hours straight, higher intensity for 3 hours, 15 minutes, and then boom, you're done when you're younger. Like 2 hours a day. I think that beats people up. I think fighters are starting to go away from that. They should be anyway. At least technical training should only be one of those anyway. You shouldn't be trying to cram in too much to your brain anyway. If one was like strength and conditioning, and then later is your technique, skill development, martial arts, then that's okay, maybe. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate that. Have you gotten it already? And if not, please review it. If you haven't reviewed it on the site, you might have. I recognize AJ being the name, maybe, but I've been hitting the head a lot. Let me plug my banner right, guys. 37% off if you're just joining in. Looks like we've lost some people. We've gone over an hour already. So I don't know if I'll get through all this, guys. If I don't get through a question today, next Sunday, I'm going to plan it. Let's do a Q&A next Sunday. I could probably go for maybe 20 more minutes, guys. Transitions in fighting, closing distance, attacking on the breaks, providing a false sense of security for your opponent. Shoryuken. He's trying to be both at the same time. Sorry, buddy. Ryuken, you gotta decide. Ryuken means the school of Ken. So you're actually like going more towards Ken than Ryu or Ryu now. I'm definitely more a Ryu guy than a Ken guy. I don't need to be so flashy in my red outfit and do flames. That's just me. You got to do MMA sparring with a legit gym to get better at the transitions. Guys, Muay Thai plus BJJ does not equal MMA. Let me say this for everyone in third world countries. Muay Thai plus Jiu-Jitsu does not equal MMA. You have to know MMA. You have to know your transitions into takedowns. I teach them energy efficient takedowns, and they're in my cluster fighting system. You got to know how to throw that overhand right in your single leg. You got to know how to do stutter step punch entries. You got to know how to do your sweep entries by creating an angle of attack. So angle of attack, maybe that's something for you to think of. Ruken. Attacking on the brakes. Everybody should be punching on the brake, and in a real MMA fight, elbowing on the brake. It's hard to do the elbows unless you have a good partner you really know and trust. We can kind of just fake it. But you should get in the habit of punching on the brake and hands up on the brake, not dropping. And we're resetting, and now we're resetting, and now we're resetting. I think you already know that you shouldn't be doing that. So you need to get in there in MMA spar to do the things you should be doing in MMA, its own sport. Hopefully that helps. I don't believe in ninjas, Dan, and I don't know why you do. A ninja was an old lady dressed up as the housekeeper to listen to the people in Edomura during the 14th century to hear 15th century, to hear where they were going. That was a ninja. Yeah. So, yeah. I stuck up on Stephen K. Hayes, the ninja from the 80s. I watched all the ninja movies too. Attack on the Ninja, Ninja 1, 2, 3, 4. I watched them all. American Ninja 1, 2, 3. I watched them all. I had all the ninja books. I'm still great at throwing shuriken. Manriki Gusari, weighted chain, Tonfa. I was down with all that in middle school, bro. It's not middle school anymore, bro. I stuck on at the Arnold Classic. Stephen Hayes was the famous ninja guys. I snuck up on him, tapped him on the shoulder, did my step counter step, which is viable, and boom, he turned to the right, and I literally disappeared behind him. So I snuck up and ninja disappeared, and then I could have strangled him or stabbed him in the back or slit his throat. Stephen K. Hayes. We talked a while. But yeah, I snuck up and disappeared and ninja the ninja. Christmas trees in the other corner. It is still up. Beef Wellington doing well. Thank you. Do I think DKU is legit? Have you seen his sparring footage? Funny, when I was going to Seoul for the second time, and I was going to be right near him because Korean Zombies School is pretty close to him, he didn't respond to any of my emails or messages. Guess he didn't want to get together. Even though I'm like the MMA guy that understands Systema and uses some Systema and backs Systema. DKU didn't want none of that, bro. Isn't that interesting? Have you seen his sparring footage? Because I have. So is he legit at what? Being fast and non-telegraphic? Yeah. Okay. Could he teach you some things about being fast and non-telegraphic? Yeah. I can hit people in motorcycle helmets too there. Hopefully that answers you. I don't know what this means. You mean my sweet spot for my body weight? It's definitely not right now. So I'm like 250 right now. COVID has made me fat, guys, and I've also had to raise my prednisone to stay alive because of misdiagnosis of another doctor keeping me on high 2 prednisone for a long time, and I'm trying to keep alive right now. So if I look fat, guys, not only was it because of 1984 that the NWO has put us through, but because of high prednisone. I've been trying to taper it down a little bit the last few days. We'll see when I see a new doctor Tuesday. But my kidney rating, maybe I shouldn't be, and I should just let you all make fun of me for having a fat, pudgy, water retention face. A sweet spot for me, I was really good at 218. I was really good at 228. I leveled off there for many years. Both of those. My thyroid does weird things because of my lupus. 228 was good. When I was going to fight again, 2014 summer, living in Saitama, 2 feet off the mats, sleeping in an old elevator shelf on a massage table, staying still to sleep every night. Hopefully Viking Samurai posted pictures. I was ripped at like 198, even though they said the fight would be a heavyweight. Eating junk food on purpose for the first time in my life. I couldn't gain weight because of walking around. It was so hot. So I was ripped at 198. I mean, I can really look like I've stunt doubled Stallone once. I got down to 214 and double him for that commercial, or 211. I think I got to 211, and I was 218 at the time. But I mean, I can get really, really ripped if I get down. But like 228, I could fight and be a lot of slow ass heavyweights, to be honest with you, if I was still athletic and under 40 and had cardio. I think that was wrestling and something. So he had wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I might have missed it. Triangle choking with thick legs. Even as a black belt, I almost never do a triangle choke. If I do, you're dead. If I do, you're dead. I won one match. You can see the footage of it, my highlight guys. But I don't go for it often. My setup and timing, everything has to be absolutely perfect. If I lock it in, I can triangle without using my hands at all. You're dead. My thunder thighs will cut off every little minor carotid and all the little arteries that go through the neck and the face. So, yeah, if you got short, yeah, you said short legs, it's not the best to do against high level people. You could always TP choke too against another thick guy. Like, guys, my heavyweights are so thick shouldered in relation to height, people don't realize things are very different. It's about relationship ratios. And so their shoulder width is so much greater than the length of leg. So you could also TP choke some people as well. I don't know that much about Wally J or Small Circle. I know pulling fingers and splitting fingers and wrist locks can work if you have the delivery system to do that. We already talked about that. Yuri wants to show me interesting things. Yuri, if you only train 3 years, you're probably not showing me anything interesting or that I haven't seen before. No offense. Hi, David. I am a fan of the TV show Cobra Kai. You can spot me in season 2, episode 6. You can also spot me at the bloopers. I found out one night surfing YouTube at 2 a.m. I made the bloopers for tripping like a dumbass over some lighting and stuff and boxes and power boxes I had down below. Oh, I didn't realize Alan Ware was also a BJJ black belt. Maybe I'm confusing him. Was that the guy in Ip Man 4? Or is this a different guy? Alan Ware is like, I talked to him. Like sensitivity guy. I didn't know he was a jiu-jitsu black belt. Well, then he probably got stuff that helped his jiu-jitsu from his sensitivity from Kung Fu. Hi, Mike. Training with the Beast was awesome. Trained with him regularly 2 times a week for 2 years. And occasionally for the next year or two. Still talk to him about once or twice a year. I mean, I answered emails for him. I spent the night on his couch. I sold wrestling products for him. I would go to little kids' wrestling tournaments and set up his booth. I was his driver to his MMA fights, Extreme Challenge and stuff. I cornered him, Extreme Challenge. Person guy I won't mention because he did some shitty things and doesn't deserve to live. So yeah, Dan the Beast was the Beast. In fact, I found him because the first time I saw the UFC, I said, I don't know where Coldwater, Michigan is, but I'm going to get that guy to train me. I will find him. And eventually I did, only through a joke in the back of a big old martial art black catalog called The Beast Den. Someone made a joke at to Dan so that knew him. Instead of the Lions Den, they said the Beast Den and put his phone number for his house. His wife answered. I thought it was a secretary for his place. And eventually he called me on my birthday. I thought my friends were joking me. And boom, I was training with Dan the Beast. So, because I liked him because he was grappling and he was elbowing and kneeing people from side mount. It was like real grappling. It was like, yeah. So I was down with it. My friend Henry in all my 52 videos. Hi, Henry. Thanks for joining in. Guys, Henry's the big dude in all my 52 videos. Give Henry some love for taking some punches and occasionally kicks to the nuts. Yeah, I watched Army of the Dead. It was a little long. Even the opening thing with the music was kind of cool, but like a minute too long. I wish I was in it. I spotted some people I know in it as zombies, and that sucks that I wasn't in it. It was pretty good. I mean, pretty entertaining. I don't think it was as earth-shattering as people are making out to believe. But it was fun. It was fun. I mean, for like Netflix, it's pretty awesome. Does Batista want to come get interviewed? Once I start interviewing like legit people, guy like Max Mullen, an award-winning Ranger, the George Sistema, and this funny pro wrestling guy that ran a strip club back in the '90s for some certain people. I got some cool people lined up. But you know, Batista wants to come on get interviewed sometime to promote one of his movies. That would be cool. I mean, I gave him big props for his one MMA fight. Striking was horrible, but as soon as he got out of the ground, he submitted the guy. You know, and he's ran jiu-jitsu schools down in Florida and stuff. So, you know, that's cool. People want to talk about ninjas still. People still want to talk about ninjas. I don't know what's up, guys. It's like 2021. Boom, son. I interviewed Henry once, and this guy that came over, oh, I'm a cameraman in Hollywood. And he didn't hit friggin' record. So all I got is the audio of it. Henry was cool to me. I don't know where I stand with Henry. And definitely not with his brother, who I never really talked to, who is cool. I don't know. It would have been really interesting. Guys, I'm not the same person I was at 44 that I was at 40. At 38, 39, 40, even at 41, I said, I sent a message to Scott Coker and Rich Cooey, like, dude, you don't know what to do with Hellick now that he lost to the Daido Juco guy. Hellick lost 2 out of 3 rounds to the Daido Juco guy. I'm like, I could do that to him. Why do you put me against Hellick Gracie? I was willing to fight Hellick. He may be a G and G, but I'm a G and no G, baby. And I can rap better than him. Henry, I don't know. Did they kind of help ban my channel? My old channel? With a lot of work, a lot of money. Had the first Bruce Lee real fight footage that people have made millions of dollars and bought homes from now because I took that footage off of my channel. Not so happy about that because I had Metamoris, the proper angle of the extendo mat of Crone Gracie, who I had nothing against. I like Crone and I like Hickson against Shinya Aoki. It would have been a really interesting fight before the 40s. Now he's you know, I got a lot of like, you know, he's young still. So I don't know. MMA is a lot different thing than a sport grappling. You wanted to be a ninja on an island? I was a ninja, dude. I am a ninja. I've traveled the world and done things. I'm a ninja. Lupus is a horrible disease. Guys, get educated on how difficult life is lupus, and people don't believe because of the things I can still do because I'm a tough SOB. Though it's a lot harder. This year's been pretty bad. Khabib, well, because he just keeps a tight waist when he keeps it. He doesn't let go like an idiot, for one. And he knows how to leg ride, for two. And he knows how to do mat returns, for three, which is like folk style wrestling. Judo, Kung Fu, Taekwondo, body beat up. He's 26. Tavares, you should be recovering fine. That's nothing, dude. Stop being a pansy. You're 26? Unless you have an autoimmune disease, you should be like, fine, dude. You're supposed to be sore and hate life and only be able to get home and eat and sit on the couch and not be able to walk upstairs. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Stop being a pansy. Hope you don't unfollow my channel. I'm just telling you like it is. Are you sleeping enough? Are you eating properly? Are you eating fast food? If you're eating properly and sleeping like 7 hours at least, you should be okay. If you're not only sleeping 5 hours, well, there you go. Sleep more. Take some melatonin if you got it. Okay, guys, I think we're starting to wrap up. I only got about 6 questions left. Mike, you're welcome. Hope you guys enjoyed it. How tall is Stallone in life? Just slightly shorter than me. People lie because they expect Rocky to be bigger than life. People are just brainwashed idiots. I'm 5'10" and 3/4, and Sly is maybe just a little bit shorter than me. I try to look at. We discussed that. I guess it hasn't played yet, Viking Samurai, but we discussed that a bit. So look at Viking Samurai, guys. Done 2 videos with me already. Fun channel, good guy. Go check out my stuff with Viking Samurai. Kudo is the name of competition for Daido Juko. Daido Juko is kind of more the style. Kudo is kind of more the competition. I don't get into funky diets. I don't know. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Max. Yeah, Tavares, you're only sleeping 6 hours. Let's try to do 7.5, bro. Try to get 7.5 hours in. Or if you can only sleep 6, try to take a 30 to 45-minute micro nap in between trainings or before training. I used to nap before training when I first started doing MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. I used to take 45-minute naps, wake up, eat, and then take the drive 2 hours to Severance or whatever. I don't like your name. I'm not going to answer your question. Who's fighting? Style for style questions are dumb. Sorry, guys. Guys, it depends on you. Depends on the person, the fighter. Sambo versus Daido Juko. What kind of Sambo? Combat Sambo or Sports Sambo? Sports Sambo, the Daido Juko. We're talking champion versus champion. The Daido Juko guy wins. Combat Sambo? Probably depends because the Daido Juko champions are Russian. And in the last 8 years, even when I fought 2009, the third world championships, almost all the champions, the first and the second place winners, were Russian because they're kind of being subsidized, it seems like. So are they really still amateur status? I don't know. But Combat Sambo versus Daido Juko. Combat Sambo is probably a bigger talent pool. So maybe Combat Sambo because the talent pool, even though most of the Daido Juko champions are still mostly Russian, I think, unless that's changed recently. Thanks, Maz. Yeah, guys. I think I'm going to interview. It's so controversial, and George is such an interesting guy. I think I'm going to introduce my Sistema friend, George, because he is so extremely high level. He's an outlier, perhaps even in Sistema. He's trained martial arts. I'm at 35 years, so he's at 45 years. He also used to spar some big name professional boxers down at Kronk Boxing Gym in Detroit, so he ain't scared of getting hit. So George is lined up. I also have Mad Max Mullen. We got to work with his schedule. But an award-winning ranger, instructor, combat parachuted down into Grenada, I think, or Panama, or something. I'm tired now, guys. I think it was Grenada to rescue the students. Meth, I don't care. You need to change your name. Sorry, dude. Not going to take you seriously. You can just bite me if you don't think I was polite enough to you. Boom. We lost 1 subscriber today. There we go. Change your name, become an adult, become a good person, and then maybe we can, have a conversation. George has 2 or 3 different channels. One was Mad Michigan Man something. One is George Pogasic, and one is George S. Pogasic. Also, he does a lot of videography in some films and going to rock people all the time. And I'm not that into music as him, but he's always there with talking to rock stars and stuff. And he's worked with Eric Roberts in movies, and all kinds of people. We'll talk to him when we talk to George. So we got Mad Max Millen. I also got a guy who's a pro wrestler and owned a strip club. He's got funny stories about Baroni and UFC fighters and stuff and pro wrestlers. So that one should be a fun one. Igor Vovchanchin is 5'8" or 5'9", probably 5'8.5". I was there live for his last MMA fight when he was ripped at 205. I took a great picture on a disposable camera. Igor Vovchanchin, guys. If you're not familiar with Igor Vovchanchin, he won 5 one-night 8-man or 16-man tournaments. 5. Other guys have done 3. He did 5, fighting 3 or 4 guys in one night. Total respect for Igor Vovchanchin. Last I knew, he was still running a restaurant in the Ukraine. I think he's getting politically involved one way or the other versus Russia. So I don't know. Well, Meth, that's good. Change your name, and you can ask me a question next Sunday then. Huh? I don't understand the question. Is there a problem instead of having a basic in something like Thai boxing or judo? Going into martial arts, you're trained in an application-oriented way. Is English your first language? Are you trying to ask, is there a problem with just going in one of the more regarded functional or MMA styles like someone else put it earlier? No. That's what everyone should do when they're young. I keep repeating myself. Go do your judo and Kyokushin or Shotokan as a teenager. Do wrestling if you can. Once you're 18 and your brain's already matured, you can do boxing. You can do Muay Thai. You can do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, yeah. And then when you're smarter and older and you want to dabble with some Kung Fu and some Kali and some Sistema and some this and that, whatever, like I have, to maybe not be just a brainwashed idiot that only follows one way or one path, when you want to like travel the world and meet different people and different cultures, you should probably go experience life and get self knowledge instead of hearsay from other people. But yes, if you have no base, Rokas shouldn't exist. He should have done judo first and listened to me long ago and other people long ago. Doing stuff makes you legit. Being someone that has actually done stuff. In the world of martial arts, we're talking me. I've got black belts in multiple systems. I competed in grappling, in Daido Juko, in MMA. I bounced. I used things in the real world. I've survived multiple opponents and weapons. That's what makes you legit. As someone that just makes a channel for teenagers, like almost all the YouTube channels out there. I will be in Killeen, Texas, July 10th and 11th. Do I know weapons also? I've trained martial arts 35 years. I can pick up my stand and fight with it. I can fight with anything, of course. If you know how to move your body and develop power and have timing and distance, you can fight with anything. There's Kali instructors that I would put them in a hospital if we fought. There's some wannabe posers here in Atlanta in the movies. There's a lot of posers. I would beat the brakes off of them, and I haven't touched a Kali stick in probably 5 years. You know how to fight or you don't. If you know martial arts, you can fight. I can train. I can pick up anything and fight with it. Maybe not the best, absolutely best Kali instructor in the world, but a whole lot of people that teach don't know jack about jack. Jeff Thompson, yes, put up a fence. We've talked about that all the time. Get my Combatives Street Jiu-Jitsu DVD. And yeah, he was pretty ahead of his time at looking at real-world applications. Boom! 37% off. Guys, if you follow my channel and comment, and I've gone out of my way to spend time to answer. Oh, I'm getting ornery, guys, because I was supposed to eat 30 minutes ago. I'm an intermittent faster. I haven't eaten, and also my cortisol is getting low. I need to take more prednisone before I die. I avoid legal trouble by being smart. Well, Tavares, you're already doing Sonda. So that's good. Get my DVD and you'll learn about how to apply striking and throwing and grappling skills in real world scenarios. So I would say the Sonda hopefully is doing more for you if it's good Sonda, more than Taekwondo. Oh, you're saying maybe in the past you did some Sonda in Taekwondo? Yeah, obviously you need like current striking. You're only 26. Try to find some Dutch kickboxing if you can. And if not, some good Muay Thai and not shitty Muay Thai. And you're going to have to figure that out. No, I don't know Ed Parker Jr., but I have seen footage of him at Systema seminars in the 2000s. I have lupus, SLE, and Sjogren's or George's disease. Sometimes I mumble because I don't make saliva and tears near enough. I have no idea who my fight camp is, except Henry mentioned them the other day. So I guess if people keep mentioning them, maybe someday I'll go check them out. But guys, let's wrap up with stop following idiots on YouTube that don't know jack about jack. If there's someone out there that's a black belt in jiu-jitsu besides me you want to go follow, go do it. But if someone's a friggin' white belt, if someone's a friggin' blue belt, if someone's a friggin' sucks at everything, if someone thinks they're a sensei and they're not, like, stop it. CO had that comment about non-experts acting like experts. It's almost like she saw my videos. Stop acting like non-experts or experts. And I'm not claiming I beat Gordon Ryan in jiu-jitsu or beat Daniel Cormier in an MMA fight. But I could hang with a lot of people to a certain extent, at least before I was 40, and I have real expertise in this. Now, guys, it's not just martial arts. We're doing Q&A. We'll probably do another one next week. Hopefully, it'll be different questions. And I guess we're just going to wrap it up there. But, guys, think more critically. If you want to do, guys, do 51 push-ups and film yourself doing 51 push-ups live. If you have friends, you have a school you go to, and you can do one of my 3 rules I talked about with Rokas the other day that I have multiple videos on. My live grab defense, 2-minute rounds. My Karate Go Jiu-Jitsu sparring rules. Look at my videos for Karate Go Jiu-Jitsu. Film yourself doing it. If you look halfway decent, I will put the video on my YouTube channel. I'll give you some plug. I'll give you some props, or I'll give you some feedback. Or my speed grappling rules. Takedowns, transitional submissions, standing submissions, takedowns, throws. If you can pull off a wrist lock or a wakigatami or a 2-on-1 Russian elbow breaker takedown, I'm going to give you mad props. So Max is already doing 52 push-ups, and Max isn't a young guy, guys. Max, I did 52 today, actually, just to see if I could before I took some photos. So that's great. Guys, do that stuff, okay? Start sparring using my system, my styles, my ideas, and see how that does. Film it, send it to me, boom. Guys, I'll see you next Sunday, probably 1 p.m., probably just another Q&A with me. But hopefully we're going to have more fun, and we're going to get with some real instructors. We're going to get with some pretty cool people. If you fought, guys, maybe if you're a known actor a little bit, or fought in the UFC or Bellator or won or something, guys, if you know some celebs or some name fighters or something like that, please reach out to them. I'm not big on Twitter. I don't Insta-ho. I'm not young. If you can reach out to people and see if they'd come on, it'll be a more professional thing, I think, once we get some people on, and it's not just me talking about myself, but it's me asking other people questions. Shulong Lee, I can still kick high. I did with Henry a couple months ago. It's been probably since then. I'm having some knee issues now from SWAT school. I'm surprised no one asked me about SWAT. So next Sunday, actually, As your questions about SWAT, the videos are starting to drop. I think this Wednesday or Thursday. I laid them out now. I finished editing last night. It's taken a lot of editing about SWAT school and interviewing the SWAT instructor. I can still kick high when I warm up. I have to warm up more as you get age. You need to warm up more. I think I still could now, and I can still stunt fight Scott Atkins in a movie. Scott Atkins, what up, bro? Someone give me some work. I still move pretty darn good for a big guy. I'm 5'11", 250. And I could probably drop that 240 for a particular role and get in a little better shape. Yeah, I could do that. So hopefully that answered most of your guys' questions. I don't know who Mike Stone is. Kali is cool. Boom. Guys, go get my DVD while it's 37% off. And please see me next week. And then we'll probably have Sistema with George as Pogasic and also talk about movies. And guys, should we talk about aliens as well? Because me and George can go off. In 5 weeks, Congress is getting a talk from the DOD and like whatever they keep changing the alien. Like, should we talk about aliens too and what might be going on? I don't know. Should we do it? Let me know. Boom. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe, guys. Get in the comments on the YouTube video later. Let's try and get the algorithm. Give me some thumbs up on YouTube. I don't know how this is looking over at YouTube. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for your wishes on my health and all that, brothers and sisters and whatever. Let's try to be positive. Make yourself positive. Do your push-ups and read some books. Still working through my Colin Pollan book and Dr. Ben Carson autobiography. I give that to you, Henry. Why have you read it, brother? So, guys, that's about it. I don't know. Should we talk about aliens, me and George, too? And then we'll talk about fate, crazy pro wrestling, and girl stories with my other person I'll have on, and strip clubs, and maybe oil wrestling, and me teaching, and all kinds of things. So let me know where you guys want me to go with this direction. But reach out. If you know some celebrities or on some fan pages, reach out to some celebrities, some actors, some pro wrestlers, some UFC, Bellator fighters, one fighters. If you're around the world and you know somebody, my homie who's Indian but born in the U.S., I get on his page, but it's always in like not English. This really buff, famous, super famous Indian action star. Like, if I can get someone like him on, like, let's do it. Let's get Dave Bautista on here. Let's get some UFC fighters on here. I mean, today was just kind of seeing how things work, guys. And anyway, guys, take care. Happy Memorial Day. Try to give some respect to those that, well, try and give some respect and be excellent to one another. Boom. Take care, everybody. Thanks, guys.